love, and then there's all the songs and the characters that the little kids will love as well. So it's fun for all the family.
So you have children into the show at 6 a.m?
Oh no, sorry, I'm talking about the live show.
The live show. Oh yes,
that we're bringing. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the actual TV show. I just do the links in between the programs that are on the TV. Yeah. So I'm sitting there in a little studio and I read out emails and show birthday cards and talk about what programs are coming up on the morning. But yes, from what I'm told, parents and kids do enjoy watching Milkshake on the TV, so that's nice.
Yeah, and that's on Channel 5, isn't it, of course? We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Channel 5. I mean, you've been doing it for 6 years?
Yeah, 5 and a bit years,
5 or 6 years. I mean, that must take a toll on you every morning, or most mornings at 6 a.m. It must be. Well,
luckily, I don't have to do it every single day.
Oh, you
because
don't?
There's 6 of us now, so we take it in turns, which makes it a bit easier. Because I do love my sleep. I really do.
Yeah. Like most people, I think, if we're all honest, I think we all like a good sleep, don't we? Nothing better than that. But you're very lucky, because some of the shows you have on are very, very well known. Like, for instance, you do Peppa Pig, and I believe Peppa's the biggest show in the world at the moment. I was out in America about about a year ago, and it's huge out there as well now.
Yeah, she's huge, world famous, like you say. Yeah, she has her own show. So unfortunately, she's not in the live show, in the theatre show. But we have lots of other Milkshake favourites, including the Bananas in Pyjamas, the Little Princess. We have Milkshake Monkey, who is incredibly popular, and that programme is exclusive to Milkshake and Channel 5. And a bunch of other characters as well on stage with us. So, yeah, loads of singing, loads of dancing, loads of fun.
So you do the singing and the dancing as well on the show?
Yeah, we do. It's a good old workout for us. So basically, the premise of the theatre show is that it's Milkshake Monkey's birthday party, but he doesn't know anything about it. So we're having a surprise party for him, and there's 12 different characters, I think, from Milkshake that are involved in the party celebrations, and it's just about us and the audience keeping it a secret from Monkey until it's time to have the party. So it's a really lovely show.
It sounds absolutely really fun. I mean, it must be your... I was on stage recently doing a show in Bedfordshire, comparing a show, and I really enjoyed it. And so it must be, especially if you see a load of young children in the theatre. Because I sort of the opinion, I went to the theatre as a very young child, about 6 or 7, Panto and a few other shows. I mean, Peppa Pig wasn't around in my time. And I really love the theatre now, and I think... I'm of the opinion if you can get children into the theatre very young, you've got them for a period of time.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. I remember my first experience when I was about 6. I did go to pantomimes, but I don't really remember much about them. I just remember going to see a performance of the Snow Queen at my local theatre, and I was just mesmerised. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, I agree with you. I think it's really important that kids love the theatre when they're kids, and then you've got them hooked. So yeah, it's a big responsibility, but it's lovely doing children's theatre because their energy is so infectious. It's like they're at a little rock concert. In their head, they're seeing their idols on stage. Yeah. So the Bananas in particular are hugely popular, and when they come on, they're just screaming for them. It's so lovely to be a part of that.
I know, my 4.5-year-old niece went and saw the Bananas earlier on in this year, I think it was, and she loved it. She sits there, and she's normally, because children of a certain age have what I would describe as round bottoms. And I don't go with her. My niece goes with her, and she sits there, and apparently she does not move. She sits there, fixated with these characters on stage, and it's a great thing actually. I've seen her watch it on the TV actually, and it's almost like mesmerising. But how did you sort of start off in this kind of business? How did you? Because did you work? You worked up at the Hull Truck Theatre Company.
Hull Truck, yeah. Like I said, that was my first. When I look back, it's lovely how it's all panned out. That was my first experience of watching the Snow Queen. That's where I watched it, and then I worked through university on the bar there, and then I got an audition for one of the plays that John Godber was doing, and I got the part, and I couldn't believe it. And ever since then, I've worked with him and for that company on quite a numerous amount of shows. So I've been really lucky. I did a lot of kids' theatre there as well, and I think that kind of put me on the right path to getting the Milkshake job, because it just kind of came up as these things do, and you go along for the experience. But yeah, I was picked to get the job, so I was over the moon, and it's lovely that I get to do a bit of singing, a bit of dancing, a bit of acting, and a bit of presenting, because that's what I love to do. So, yeah, I know people say they fell into presenting, but I really did. I'm really enjoying it. It's a good skill to have, especially on live TV, because you have to think on your feet, and I think it makes you a better all-round performer if you can do something like that.
Live is always dangerous. Have you had anything sort of happen that you had to get yourself out of, shall we say?
No, a lot of people ask me that, and I don't unfortunately have a horror story to tell you, thank goodness, but there's always time. But basically, the worst thing that's ever happened is sometimes when we show a lot of clips and promos for the programmes that are coming up later on in the morning, and occasionally, someone's talking in your ear and they'll say, oh, the clip isn't going to work, it's not going to play out, so you have to fill for that time. That's probably the scariest thing, because if in your head you've prepared just for 20 seconds of talking, but you've actually now got a minute, you have to suddenly think on your feet. But I do like things like that, because you're alive, and it makes it exciting, and it makes you appreciate the job, and when you've done it, you feel like you've really achieved something. So, yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it's nice to have that adrenaline going through.
They just check you're awake. I think they do it deliberately, just to check you're still awake.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, what's the strangest job you've ever had to do? I mean, you said you did the children's theatre. What's the sort of strangest role you've had to play? I bet there's been some crackers.
That's a good question. I haven't really had any strange roles, but I think the most interesting was I did a show called Scrooge, the 12 Days of Christmas. So it was kind of like a children's version of the Christmas Carol story, but it was also combined with the rhyme 12 Days of Christmas. So this Scrooge character was visited by 5 Goldings, the Turtle Doves, the Partridge in a Pear Tree, and it was just a two-hander. So obviously there was the guy in it that played Scrooge, and I played all the other parts. So I think I played about 20-odd parts. And it was just so, obviously, because it's a kids' show, the energy and the pace is so quick that I was constantly, if I was on, I was being a French hen with a French accent, and then I was going off and getting changed and becoming a partridge, and he had an Essex accent. So that was probably the most crazy show I've done, because I had so many different voices, so many different costumes, but I loved it. That's what I love to do. I love all the different voices and parts, so it was fun, but yeah, it was a bit strange.
But it was. It sounds like fun. It sounds absolutely tiring. I'm exhausted at the thought of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was exhausting. Yeah. We're doing 2 shows a day as well.
I must admit, when it comes up to, we're getting very sort of close to Panto season, and it seems a long way off. But when I see some of these people doing Panto shows, they're doing sometimes 3 shows a day. I'm thinking, I'm feeling tired at the thought. I really don't know how they keep it up. I mean, you're lucky with the Milkshake live show. It's only 1 show a day, isn't it?
Well, actually, most of the time we do 2 shows a day.
2 shows a day. So
sometimes we just do the one which is lovely, but often we do 2 shows a day. But you just get used to it. It's it's an energy that you know you've got to have from somewhere. So you just pace yourself. And I eat a lot of bananas. They keep me going, and drink a lot of water, and you get through it.
The bananas haven't got pyjamas on, have they?
No, I definitely don't eat those bananas. Just from the shop. No more bananas.
Now you've got to spill the beans. Which is your favourite character?
I do enjoy all of them for different reasons, but I do really love the Little Princess. I've always loved her because she's just really cheeky, and the actual show is really funny. Julian Clary does the narration. It's just a really fun show. The kids love it, and the adults love it as well. So I would say she's probably my favourite because she's very cheeky. Okay.
Well, one last thing. I mean, you've been doing this for 5 or 6 years. Do you have any sort of aspirations or ambitions to do anything else? Is there anything you'd love to do?
I'm an actress at heart, so eventually I would love to kind of get back, do some theatre, playing some exciting roles, because that was my dream. You know, I want to act, and I feel like that is my main passion. But that said, I love being on stage, and I love doing Milkshake, because I'm so lucky to have this opportunity. So, yeah, at the moment I'm very happy. But, you know, later on down the line, when I'm a bit older, I think I'd like to get back into the acting.
A bit older, when you get to my age, the acting will be an issue. I mean, you're still very young in comparison, so I mean, you've got plenty of time. What role would you like to play?
I like new roles. I always enjoy getting asked to do a new play, because no one's ever played that part before, so you can really make it your own. But then there's iconic roles I still want to play, like Rita in Educating Rita.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's a fantastic character, because she goes through such a change, and I love the Scouse accent, so I'd love to play that part. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. Actually, that's a great film, a great play as well, wasn't it? I mean, Willie Russell's written some great stuff. And I mean, I saw Blood Brothers about 2 or 3 years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And it's a great. I mean, you're very lucky to work with John as well, haven't you? Up at the Hull, because he's written some great.
I am. I adore John. He's a fantastic playwright, and he's a great man to be directed by, because I grew up studying his work, and sometimes I pinch myself that I have the relationship I have with him, because he does ask me back to do things with him. I mean, I did his new play last year, which was Muddy Cows, which was about a female rugby team.
Really?
So it was kind of like the female version of Up and Under,
okay.
And it was great fun. So I am lucky that I kind of mix presenting and the acting. But yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah. He writes some great gritty plays. I think he's probably best known for Bouncers, I would guess.
Yes.
I think that's the one that everybody knows of John, because we're talking about him as everybody knows him. That some of the listeners have probably never heard of him, but he sort of does it's mostly gritty northern sort of plays, isn't he? He's a bit
gritty northern comedy, yeah, and he has a bunch of actors, usually 2, 3 or 4, and again you're playing sort of 10 characters each usually, so that for me is my favourite style, because you just get to showcase different things. I did Teachers earlier this year, and that's another one.
Oh, that's another one. Yes, of course. Yes, I've forgotten about it.
Brilliant.
He's written loads, hasn't he? He's quite a prolific man, I think, from what I understand. Yes. Daniel, almost out of time, so what I'm going to do, let's just quickly run through the one show that people can see you. It's on Saturday the 18th of October. It's at Radlett, the Radlett Centre. It's a beautiful theatre. And just once more, run through what people can actually see from Milkshake Live.
So we've got the Bananas and Pyjamas on stage with us. We've got the Little Princess, Milkshake Monkey. We have Chloe from Chloe's Closet, Bello from Jelly Jam. We have Tommy and Tallulah from Tickety Tock, Noddy and Tessie Bear. And hopefully I've not missed anybody else. But basically, lots of singing, lots of dancing, loads of fun for all of the family. It's a lovely show. And of course, you making a fool of yourself as well. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully everything will go to plan. Well, all right, you enjoying yourself. It's the same thing, isn't it? Have a good time. Thank you very much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've all learned a lot about Milkshake. I knew nothing about it until 10 minutes ago, which is great for me. It's always nice to learn new things. Lovely. Thank you very much for your time today, Amy. Thank you. Have a nice day. There we are. That's the very bubbly Amy Thompson from Milkshake. What a pleasure it is to have somebody like that on the show as well. Big thank you today to my guest, John Illsley, and hope he has great success with that track, the railway tracks. And it's great for him to be able to tell us the story of behind the song, and the sort of rather poignant story. Thank you very much to John and to Amy. Next week on the show, I have a man who caused a bit of a stir in the 60s. He's on a show called 60s Gold. His name's PJ Proby. He will be joining me next week on the show. He's touring at the moment alongside Jerry Marsden and the Pacemakers, the Searchers, the Fortunes, and the two voices behind the Tremolos, Brian Paul. Now, my name's Terry Sullivan. This has been the Sticks Radio Show. Until next week,
It's bye for now.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture, and much more to 66,000 readers every month. Plus news, views, and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse, and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.